Welcome back to Arsenal News TV, and today we're going to first look at Arsenal can expose Chelsea's biggest flaw once again by making surprise £40 million transfer decision, and then we're going to look at Arsenal will be forced into Houssem Aouar transfer decision because of two players. So the first transfer headline states that Arsenal can expose Chelsea's biggest flaw once again by making surprise £40 million transfer decision. So the reports are stating that Arsenal have been linked with a move for the Chelsea striker this summer, with a loan deal plus an obligation to buy for £40 million next year being touted in the media. Liverpool, Manchester City and Internacional all have one thing in common, and to some extent so do Manchester United, Everton, West Brom, Fiorentina and AS Roma. They've all benefited from arguably Chelsea's biggest transfer flaw, selling players too early. It's often mentioned that once upon a time, Mohamed Salah, Kevin De Bruyne and Romelu Lukaku were all on the books at Stamford Bridge, yet failed to make any impact. They left and had since developed into three of the best players in Europe at this moment, with the former duo going on to achieve great success at Liverpool and Manchester City respectively. Of course, there is no guarantee that the trio would have become the players they are now had they stayed at Chelsea, nor can it be proved that the Blues regret their decision all these years later. After all, they were successful before them and continued to win big trophies after they left. But it's still a case of what could have been, and 10 years from now, there could be a similar conversation about Tammy Abraham, who has received a crossroads in his career. Clearly not fancied to lead the line by Thomas Tuchel, the striker is at an age where he really needs to be playing first team football week in week out. At 23, he's a year younger than when Mohamed Salah and De Bruyne joined Roma and Wolves respectively, and 2 years older than Lukaku when his Chelsea spell permanently ended when he joined Everton. The trio eventually made it back to the very top of European football. Romelu Lukaku, albeit via Manchester United, was tipped to become an elite centre-forward in his younger days and is living up to the billing with Inter and also with the Belgium national team. Mohamed Salah showed signs of making Chelsea regret their decision to sell him whilst at Fiorentina on loan, really caught the eye with Roma and has simply exploded at Liverpool, shattering all sorts of goal-scoring records along the way. Meanwhile, De Bruyne is regarded by many as the best midfielder in the world. What the trio have done is shown that leaving Chelsea isn't the end of the world, and it isn't simply sometimes a case of being in the right place at the wrong time. Tammy Abraham and Arsenal wants to take note of this trend. Perhaps surprisingly, the Gunners have emerged as suitors for Tammy Abraham in a move that would all but spell the end for one of Alexandre Lacazette or Eddie Nketiah at the Emirates Stadium. The reaction to the Abraham links have been mixed, to say the least. That's understandable given Arsenal's most recent dealings with Chelsea was Willian, and the less said about the deal the better. Furthermore, there are concerns about what Arsenal signing Tammy Abraham would mean for the development of Gabriel Martinelli and Folarin Balogun. Another valid point, but can Arsenal, ahead of a season when they need to reclaim their position as a top 6 side in the Premier League, afford to favour two relatively unproven emerging talents over a striker with quite an impressive goal-scoring record? So this nicely takes us on to the second piece of transfer news, which states that Arsenal will be forced into Houssem Aouar transfer decision because of two players. So the reports are stating that Arsenal have been linked with the move for Lyon's Houssem Aouar this summer. Arsenal's hunt for an attacking midfielder seems to have dragged on for multiple transfer windows. The vacancy was filled for many years by assist merchant Mesut Ozil before Martin Odegaard was drafted in from Real Madrid to temporarily provide a creative spark last season. Now, Houssem Aouar appears to be the chosen one, but the Gunners may need to act quickly. With classy players of Ozil and Odegaard's calibre departing North London in recent months, a new creative presence is absolutely necessary for Mikel Arteta's side. Mesut Ozil was a crucial player for the Gunners after joining in 2013, quickly becoming a fan favourite due to his ability to spot a pass which nobody else in the stadium could. However, things got ugly towards the end of his spell when he was completely frozen out of the first team by Mikel Arteta. That left Arsenal in need of a creative quality in attacking areas to supply their frontmen. In what looked like an exciting move, they could called on much hyped youngster Martin Odegaard from Los Blancos, no less, to fill Mesut Ozil's boots. Although the Norwegian looked lively, he did not exactly turn the Emirates upside down with his displays, and he was eventually called back by Carlo Ancelotti at Real Madrid. In truth, bringing in a creator on loan was only a sticking plaster on a long-term issue for Mikel Arteta. This summer, one of transfer chief Edu's top priorities is to solve that problem on a permanent basis. A name which seems to arise time and time again when it comes to Arsenal is Houssem Aouar. After a mildly disappointing season which seems to have lowered his value to an attainable level, combined with the supposed desire to leave Lyon, it seemed as though the stars were aligning for the Frenchman's switch to the Gunners. However, local rivals Tottenham now appeared to be handing Houssem Aouar an alternative destination. Neither side have made concrete offers to sign the tricky midfielder as yet, but it is believed that a bid as low as £25 million would be enough to tempt Lyon into selling. With Spurs interested, the player available at a reasonable price and also in need of a long-term attacking midfield solution, now may be the time for those concrete moves to be made. The player's preference is reportedly to play Champions League football next season, granting extra urgency for Arsenal to swoop in before a qualified club tests Lyon's resolve. When it comes to alternatives, James Maddison has been mentioned and he is proven at Premier League level, but it would cost a hell lot more than Houssem Aouar and it would presumably be tricky to prize him away from a top 4 rival. Albert Samuel Lokonga was recently announced as an official rival at the Emirates, while the club are also pushing hard to sign Manu Locatelli. Arsenal have another deal in front of them which makes perfect sense, therefore Eddie should channel similar effort towards obtaining Houssem Aouar before the opportunity slips away. So it looks like Arsenal will be forced into Houssem Aouar transfer decision because of 2 players. And Houssem Aouar is someone that Mikel Arteta does admire, he's someone that he does want at this football club, but Lyon are asking for £25 million, which is significantly less than what they asked in the previous summer transfer window where it was in the region of £50 to £60 million. So Houssem Aouar could be the ideal long-term replacement to Mesut Ozil, and he is someone that could join on a permanent basis for Mikel Arteta's side, and he could be that perfect addition that Mikel Arteta needs in his squad. So we will have to wait and see how Arsenal will use the summer transfer window in the end. Make sure you check out the FA Cup posters, the special link I have put below in the description, and smash that like button to see if you can reach 30 likes. Also subscribe for more daily videos and share the video with your Arsenal friends and family. Click one of the latest videos on the screen and I'll see you there.